Welcome to Livingston, our podcast where we invite local businesses, people, and organizations to talk about what they are giving to our community.
As real estate professionals with the Putkela Group, we bring valuable insight into the local market and community every week.
Thanks for listening, and welcome to Livingston. Hi, and welcome everybody to another episode of the Welcome to Livingston podcast. My name is Don Putkela.
And I'm Angela Putkela, and we're with the Putkela Group Real Estate Professionals. And this podcast has been brought to you by Jim Paquette with Lake Michigan Credit Union.
Yes, and we have a extra special
kind
episode
of fun today.
Yes,
Yeah.
you have a visitor with you today.
I do. So instead of our regular guests that are the small businesses in Livingston County, we decided to do an episode for dog lovers of Livingston County because we just got a puppy 3 days ago. She's super cute. And so I'd like to introduce you all to Pepper.
Yes, Pepper is a wonderful, she is our second dog. So we've gone from the one dog world into the two dog world, which 3 days in is a very different world.
Big adjustment.
It is a big adjustment, but I think it's a really good thing. We have done the puppies before. So this is our third dog that we've ever had. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what is Pepper?
Pepper is a miniature golden retriever.
Yes.
She's fourth generation, and it appears as if she does have some King Charles Spaniel in her.
You can definitely see it in the face and the ears.
Yeah. And she does have kind of this red fur to it, and super soft. Doesn't seem to be as sheddy as our other dog is also a miniature golden retriever.
Yes.
As well. But she looks like a golden retriever, only smaller, whereas this one's a little bit different. So
yes.
Yeah. So she is with us today for those just listening. For those watching, you probably caught a glimpse of her here. She's 6 pounds. She's tiny, but she'll be up to 25 pounds, maybe 20 to 25.
Right.
So yeah, it always blows my mind at how they're able to figure those things out. But
well, yeah, and how quickly they grow. I mean, at this age, they're packing on the size and the weight on a weekly basis.
Right.
So but we decided to do an episode today about dog lovers, about owning a dog, about just some of the things in Livingston County since we have the puppy, and we didn't want to, we thought this was great, and then we didn't have to leave the puppy at home, which is even better, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I know you like showing her off.
She is very cute. She's been a lot of fun. So yeah, so it's neat that there's so many different places that you can take a dog to in the county.
There is. I mean, it's really Livingston County is very pet friendly. There's a number of restaurants that you can actually take a dog into, which is great.
Yeah.
Well,
in many cases because of that patio part of it.
Yes.
So, but they're encouraged,
right.
Like Lou and Carl's, it's named after the dogs, right?
Yes. So very encouraging, right?
Yeah. But they have it, space right in the patio so that you can eat at the restaurant and then have your favorite pup right there with you.
Yes. So that is really good. So where did you want to start out today? Talking about dog lovers in the county.
Sure. I was thinking we could touch on the dog parks, or we could move over, since we were mentioning the restaurants. We mentioned Lou and Carl's. We could kind of dip into some of those.
Yeah, well, let's start with the dog parks. I think one of the things when you have a dog, obviously when you have a puppy, they have boundless energy, right?
Oh my goodness.
So,
yes.
Not that some people don't take their cats out, or, you play with your cats and stuff, but dogs.
This is a dog episode.
It is a dog episode, but with dogs, and especially puppies, they have a lot of energy.
Yes.
And it's good to get them out. So we have a lot of great dog parks in the area. We have a lot of great parks in general in the area that you're able to bring your dog out to. But it's nice where if you go to a dog park, that you're able to take the dog off the leash. Right, and they're able to get out and run around, which is great.
And that's for some of them, not others. So over the Easy Dog Park over in Osceola Township, I know you're able to take the leash off. And it sounds like they have a swimming pond and a waterfall. They have an agility course. And they even also have a small dog area. So when you have a 6-pound dog, it's not running out and playing with, a 60-pound dog. So
right.
That seemed really good. And they're open 24/7, and it sounds like day passes are $10 per dog per day.
Well, that's great. And one of the things I wanted to mention about when you have a puppy, always best to have your dog registered, right?
Yeah.
You want to go out and register with the county, with the township, but for these dog parks, you're going to have to usually turn in your vaccination records to get admittance to the dog park, right? So that means you just, call up your vet. It's the same thing if you're taking them to the groomer, or you're taking them to
be boarded also.
To be boarded. They're going to need a copy of those vaccination records just to make sure that, they're all up to date, that they're not going to catch anything from other dogs that are in there. So it's a good thing to do. So when you have a puppy like ours, we got the vaccination records from the breeder, but you need to keep up with those things so that you're able to enjoy these dog parks, right?
Right.
And it's such a good idea to get out because you're acclimating your puppy to being around other dogs.
Yeah.
And one of the things I find it really interesting because we've been a one dog house, and Roxy is a great dog, but she gets overexcited when she gets around other dogs because she's not around them enough. She's already calmed down quite a bit just in the 3 days.
That I've been pretty amazed about. Yeah. That in terms of her excitability for when a new person or new animal comes by. In general, she's still adjusting. I think it's going to take some time. But the spaz that she normally is upon seeing a new dog is definitely improved.
Right. So
I'm looking forward to lots of other improvements with having 2 dogs. I have a lot of friends with 2 dogs, and they've really spouted a lot of the praises. So in terms of dog parks, Island Lake, it's just that massive, huge state park, and that would be something you'd have to keep the dog on the leash.
Right.
But so much walking.
Well, yeah, and that's connected to Kensington, so you can actually get to.
Really?
It's too. Well, yes. Well, with me doing the running and everything, right? You can run from Kensington into Island Lake. So if you go get off at Kent Lake Road and go to the first park getting into Kensington, if you walk to the west on the path along the along the lake, you're going to go to a split where you can go under the river and go into Island Lake. So they are connected, but if you're not looking for a 2-mile walk to get there, it's 2 different parking areas.
There you go.
but both of those are really great for dogs.
Yes.
I mean, we've taken our dogs out to Kensington a number of times to do walks, and just a great opportunity to get them out into nature.
Yeah. Well, and fitness for yourself, too. But those dogs really need their exercise. That's finding great places to walk makes a big difference. There's also, I guess, the Countryside Veterinary Dog Park that's over on Highlander Way in Howell. That is public. It's a fenced-in space. And basically, you'd work with Howell Parks and Rec to get a key fob with an annual charge for the year. So you basically pay for the membership, lasts for a year. You have your key fob to get into it, and then can let your dog run freely.
Yep.
So especially if you have a really small yard, or if you're in an apartment or a condo, something like that could really be a game changer.
Right, and that is just south of the state police department there.
Great.
And the county jail.
Yeah.
But it's a great outdoor area. I remember when they put that in about 7-8 years ago.
Yeah. Well,
so it was a great use of space. We're actually going to be having, and I'm hoping to get them on the show when it opens up. So for all of you guys where Eternity Brewing was, we had Eternity on our show.
We did.
Unfortunately, they have closed down. There is going to be a dog park / coffee house there that's opening up. So an indoor dog park area.
That's kind of, for those that don't know, in that Grand River to Latson place over in Howell there.
Yeah, it's in the plaza where Los Tres Amigos is, Little Caesars.
Pizza, yeah.
Yep, so that's going to be right in the corner in there. They're working on getting ready to open up. So we'll see about maybe having them on the show. But that's a great addition as well, because you can go into an indoor dog park. It gives you someplace to go in the winter, have a cup of coffee, kind of like Castaway Cafe, but for dogs.
Yeah, there you go. There you go, for sure. So that's going to be a great addition when that opens up.
Yes,
so
it is.
And that's an indoor space.
It is an indoor space, yep.
But another outdoor space that I wanted to make sure to mention is that Genoa Township Park. So it's over at the Genoa Township building on Door Road. That's a great and fun park, and that one's great for kids. So for those that have kids along with their dogs that, can at least walk their dog around, but then the kid can play and
Yes.
makes it fun.
And just whenever you're at all these places, my PSA for the day, make sure that you bring little poop bags, the puppy refuse bags, and just take care. And then watch the signs in the area, because even when you're in areas or parks where they are pet friendly, sometimes they have an area that's kind of set aside for playing with your pets in. So therefore, you're kind of separating that, and you're, in case they have an accident somewhere, it's in the right area. And another thing I did want to mention out to all you people out there that have dogs, that have outdoor pets, dogs that are outside a lot. It is flea and tick season. The ticks are getting really bad. I actually removed a couple ticks from Roxy for the first time ever. Having a tick on our dog. So even if you are keeping your dog on the electric fence or on a tie out in your yard, and it's not like a highly wilderness area, that doesn't mean that they're not getting into ticks, right?
Right.
Ticks, there a lot of times are in the tall grass in the areas that are a little bit more unkept, but it's always a good idea to check your pet for those. And then when you're going to the vet, you can get, the chewables that help with the ticks and the fleas and that. So it's a good idea to be checking in Michigan for that, just because there's a lot of diseases that come with that.
Yeah.
Today's episode of the Welcome to Livingston podcast is brought to you by our valued sponsor, Jim Putkela with Lake Michigan Credit Union. He is a trusted mortgage lender who has lived and worked in our community for many years. Jim Putkela is dedicated to helping our neighbors achieve their homeownership dreams and is proud to support the local businesses that make our area special. Now let's dive back into the stories of the incredible entrepreneurs we are featuring today.
With it being summer, in some cases, people are kind of out doing their thing. Oh, she's all like a bug in a rug here. But so sometimes people tend to go on vacation and so forth. So in terms of like location, some of the good ones for boarding.
Oh yeah, no.
Sometimes
Camp Bow Wow was great.
Yeah.
I like them a lot. Right.
Yep. They're over like old US
23. Anywhere you're boarding your pets. I mean, I would say first piece of advice, look online, do some research. It's always a good idea to stop by, ask for a tour maybe, so you can see the space that the dogs are in. I know one of the nice things with Camp Bow Wow is they do a lot of fun activities where they bring them in with other dogs and that. They had cameras.
Watch on the camera.
So you could see what was going on the camera, right? We are going to be finding out the whole thing of like the pet hotel of having 2 dogs in one room.
Yeah, I've always read about that, but never needed it till now.
Right. So it's always a good idea. And then if you're taking vacations at popular times, book early.
Yes, because those places do get booked.
Right.
Spring break.
That being said, for those short breaks, there's a lot of puppy sitters out there, dog sitters out there, people that can come in and feed and walk.
Another good place, Animal Crackers.
Yeah, Animal Crackers is
up
good.
In Heartland, yeah.
Yep.
They do the animal boarding, but also in terms of like grooming and whatnot.
Oh yeah, grooming is good. Yeah.
Yeah, and so there are a number of different groomers around as well. I don't have the names of those in front of me so much either, too, but I know that there's several and some that have recently opened as well.
Yep. And, one of the things I wanted to talk about is this whole idea of going from one dog to another dog to 2 dogs, since it's something that we are starting to have some personal experience with.
Yeah.
Right. Some of the things I looked into beforehand for people to think about is, we have the invisible fence. So, I'm looking into the second collar, when to put the collar on, when you can do that, getting the training out there and everything. But the nice thing about already having a dog is you already have the infrastructure.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
so
it's
the electric fence is already there. I'm just talking about a second collar. Right. I already have a lot of the stuff, even though I'm supplementing. But, I know you were looking up online a lot of like, how do you introduce a second dog to the household to not make your dog that you have feel like they're being replaced?
Right. Spoiler alert, there's a lot to it. So, and we're still working on that ourselves, but that's definitely something that's important to think about. But other people I've talked to, boy, their second dog just absolutely gets along famously with the first, and sometimes it takes a little bit of time, but it sounds like it's good for dogs to have each other.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. But I did, in terms of steering it back to Livingston County itself, wanted to kind of dip into some of these great restaurants I've talked about, like the different patio spaces. And
Okay, well, I know you have a list there, so do you want me to
Yeah.
give me a couple of them?
yeah. So Black Brewing is one that has that is cited online and so forth.
Encouraging
Yeah.
you to bring your dog.
Well, that you can have it right there out in the patio.
Okay,
and
that's good.
So, but Aberrant Ales,
Okay.
and that's over downtown Howell. So these are more the Howell ones, even though I think there is a Black Brewing over in Heartland. But
Yep, off of Old US 23.
Two Fogs.
Two Fogs, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like Brighton is kind of more of where I think of dogs, maybe because they have the bulldogs, and a lot of the shops downtown have little water dishes they keep full, right? As
Right
you're
out
entering
front.
the stores. Yeah. Yeah. There's always so many dogs walking up and down downtown Brighton.
Yeah.
But like we mentioned, Lou and Carl, Bourbons, they have all those patio seating and in terms of out there on the patio with Brighton Bar and Grill and the Pound, and so those are all great places where at least you can get something to eat while you're
Well, yeah,
your dog
and
out and
now that
about.
you're mentioning, like, even the names and that, it's Brighton is very
yes.
dog oriented with the Bulldogs, right?
Yes.
But downtown Brighton has the social district,
Yes.
which means you have a lot going on outdoors.
yes. What does that mean? That's
Well,
the social
the
district.
social district means that during the summer you can get a drink, and then you're able to walk around downtown with your alcoholic beverage,
Yeah.
which is really nice.
And have your dog right there by
And
your
have
side.
your dog right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know when we go to these festivals, when we're going to Taste of Brighton or we're going to the Melon Fest, right?
Yeah.
You see a lot of dogs outside, a
Yes.
lot of dogs walking around at these festivals. So, you know that it's a friendly thing, and socializing your animal is a great thing. And there's just so many opportunities in Livingston County in terms of getting your dog out to socialize. I would say that if you have a dog that likes water,
Yeah.
Bishop Lake is a great outdoor space that you have the water there. Same thing with Kensington and Island Lake.
Mm-hmm.
Some dogs don't like water. Some dogs just whenever they get around it, they want to jump into the water. So, you don't want your dog in the mill pond.
This is true.
Is not a pond for swimming, but it's nice that you have these areas around that are pet friendly, and in some cases, if you look at like Lou and Carl's and some of these, pet encouraged.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Brighton's very, very dog friendly, and I love that about it. I think it's fantastic. The farmers markets, people just grab their pup and they, walk up and down the aisles, and you can get something to eat. You can buy gifts. There's such great things, even window shopping.
Well, I would say the great thing about the farmers markets, because I've bought at both farmers markets, that there's usually a couple vendors there that are selling dog treats.
Right.
Like all natural, homemade type dog treats where that there's no preservatives, chemicals in there.
Right.
So that's a really good thing, pup cups.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
Yes.
good old Dairy Queen.
Both Dairy Queens you can get a pup cup at, which if you don't know, when you go to Dairy Queen, you can ask for its soft serve ice cream in a little bowl. They call it a pup cup.
Just vanilla.
Just vanilla for your dog to lick afterwards. And
Yeah, it's like an actual dog. Maybe not dog dish because it's plastic, but that's what it's meant for.
That's what it's meant for, yes. So I love the pup cups.
And there are some pet shops around. You've got the box ones, but I feel like there's some other ones that are kind of small mom and pops that have opened recently, whether it's some of those groomers or just the pet shop in general. And
Yep.
so those are great. And even for, if you have a family member in from out of town with a dog and you need to know what hotels right around here allow dogs. It's good to know that so all three of these are in Brighton, but Candlewood Suites and Homewood Suites by Hilton and Courtyard Marriott in Brighton. All three of those do allow dogs.
Wonderful. Yep. And we did get our dog from a breeder, but since we're talking about dogs and dog lovers and that, I am going to give a plug for the Michigan Humane Society. Please, they always have dogs that are in need of a home. and it is a great opportunity to go and find a home for a pet that's in need of a home, which is good. And on top of that, I would say also training. Let's talk about training for a second.
Before, though, because
Yes.
you said that one, but I wanted to mention the Livingston County Animal Shelter.
Yes.
That's very much the same. And I'm sure with yours as well as this one, a thing to keep in mind is if you're a dog lover, they can always use volunteers. What a great place to volunteer at. They could always use help with fosters. But this particular organization, Livingston County Animal Shelter, the Howell High School senior survivor raised $287,000 for them. So I know
Just this year.
So that's something that I think they're going to be expanding their facilities. I know they have some wonderful plans and, a lot of exciting things that they're going to be doing for a lot of the dogs there.
And they have a lot of programs too there as well, which is great.
Yeah.
If you're talking about training, those sorts of things, there's a lot of resources.
Absolutely. Yeah. So let's talk training now.
Well, I think, with, there's a ton of different options in Livingston County. We did our dog training for our last dog through Brighton Community Ed.
Yeah.
Was a great program, met at one of the local schools one night a week for
5 weeks.
4 or 5 weeks, something like that, and just learned a lot about training our dog. But the community eds, a lot of times people don't understand, and we should do an episode about community ed at some point, of just all the programs that you can sign up for through community ed. But the dog training was a great program through there, and just learning how to leash train, learning about crate training, the do's and don'ts of all those things. Being able to have those resources for that was really good. So the one I can speak to personally was through Brighton Community Ed.
Right. But I know a lot of the community eds offer that.
Yeah.
That really helps in terms of, obviously there's things you don't want your dog to do, but they have no way of knowing that. So getting that training early on, look up how quickly.
Right. And I know a lot of the local pet stores do training as well. Right. But I think it is an important thing. And I think it's great. One of the things I would say about Livingston County that I have noticed through the almost 200 episodes that we've done is not only do we have amazing businesses in this county, but I've always been just amazed at the amount of interaction within the county.
Yes.
When we're talking about community ed and that, just the opportunity, she is so cute.
Yeah, she's a little more up and around. She sleeps, she plays. She sleeps, she plays.
Yeah.
It's been a little while since I've had a puppy, and
it's
been nice. It's been fun.
What 4 years since you've had a puppy?
Yeah. And that's probably a whole nother episode of small dogs versus large dogs and all the different things.
Does she want to talk?
I think she does. She's checking out the microphone here.
Yes.
So I thought that would be kind of fun to have her in. And because there are so many people that have dogs. And obviously working in real estate, we encounter people that are homeowners. And a lot of homeowners do have dogs in their home.
No, a lot of them have dogs in their home. And then when we're selling the home, it's, is the electric fence staying? Is it not staying? Is the collar staying? You have dog runs, all of those sorts of things.
Shout out to some of the other episodes. We've had 2 different episodes about pets in real estate. Those were all very interesting.
Yep.
But so we've had a couple great episodes about pets in real estate. So I think those will be in the show notes too. So that dips into that there. But just Livingston County, you just see dogs all over the place, especially during the summer, the spring, or fall, nice weather.
Well, one of the great things, Brighton has therapy dogs in all of their schools. Right. Howell now has therapy dogs in their schools. And when our older son was on Senior Survivor, that's what they were raising money for, was for the therapy dogs.
Yeah.
Something that when we were in high school, they just didn't have.
No,
right.
That wasn't a thing.
But it is documented the
mental health
benefits of having a dog, having a pet, and just it's just so nice to see that they've become so much more a part of the community outside of the home.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, it makes a difference. But just in some cases, I've had people just feel like, they can't ever take their pet out. And I feel like that's not the case around here.
No. I mean, I think it's great you mentioning the outdoor spaces, the outdoor restaurants that you can bring your dog to.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the indoor ones that you could potentially bring your dog to. Always check ahead, please.
Yeah.
But there are those options out there. I love the dog parks. We've had so many people say on the show what they love about Livingston County is all the outdoor parks and spaces, right? The wilderness integration that you have in the area. And those are great areas for your pets as well. Right? A puppy sleeps better at night when you keep them busy during the day. So when your daughter cuddles up on the couch with them and decides that this is the movie we're watching together tonight, that means dad gets less sleep because the puppy's up. But it's just you see the benefit with your kids immediately when you have a pet in the house because it's teaching responsibility. It's a companion. It's just a great thing. But I've always noticed that the community has all these different resources, and there are so many great vets in the area.
Right.
And great community members. They're giving back. They're helping out. It's important to stay up on your shots, stay up on the health of your dog, but having a great vet means when your puppy eats something they're not supposed to eat, you can make a phone call. Pepper hasn't had any issues with that, but we've had dogs and we've had to make those phone calls before.
Sometimes.
So it's great when you're working with someone locally that is a part of your community that you're able to reach out to.
Right. Absolutely. It makes a difference. But, in terms of that shouting out of the benefits of owning a dog, just in terms of that whole mental health aspect to it and in terms of with kids, because it does allow them to have that responsibility and see the benefits.
Right. Yep.
With doing that.
Very much so.
Yeah.
And they have all these new breeds now.
Yeah.
There's all this, and just a touch of the real estate for a second. And we have episodes on real estate, but when you're looking at condos or you're looking at things, a lot of these condos do allow dogs. Sometimes there's a weight restriction, which brings in like this mini one that we have would fit some of those weight restrictions, even though we don't have that issue because we're in a house, we're not in a condo.
Right. But those are important things to think of, especially if you're in a house now, but you're thinking of downsizing and you're thinking of going to a condo. Makes it tougher to limit your options if you have to really watch that.
Well, no, and we've had buyers that have a dog that are looking to go into a condo, and that becomes the first thing that we're checking.
Right. Or in some cases, people look for houses that have fences and so forth.
Right.
And so that's, would you like to reflect on the idea of the invisible fence versus?
I love having the invisible fence. Obviously, if you're in a community where you're allowed to put a fence in, a regular fence versus an invisible fence, there's pros and cons in both of them. I was a bit hesitant on the electric fence just because I've heard, your dog's going to get shocked. Oh, that has a collar. Roxy never gets close to the line.
No.
In fact, there's times where I forget to put the collar on. And once they learn where the line is, your dogs are so much smarter than you think they are.
Yeah.
And it's never been an issue. But I love the fact that she's able to roam free in the yard.
Yeah.
Right. And, she's, it's just such a great thing for playing and everything else that I'm sure that Pepper will do just as well. When she's older, you are not putting a collar on a puppy. So you're waiting until they get older and just, talk to them and use the guidelines for that.
I believe it's like 4 to 6 months.
I think it might be a little bit more, but we'll check, right?
Yeah.
But, right now I'm just taking her out on a leash, but I've used a tie out before. But no, I love the electric fence. It's worked out very well. You take the collar off at night. Like I said, she never gets close to the line.
Yeah.
So it hasn't been an issue at all. And it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a number of different companies that do it. I know there's a company right in downtown Brighton that we haven't interviewed yet that does electric fences. But there's just a ton of resources out there. and there's a ton of support in the county for people with pets.
Right.
And one of the great things about the dog parks is you're meeting other people with dogs. So that way you can meet them there and your dogs can have a play date because they should be socializing with other dogs.
Yes.
It should not come as a shock to them. They should know how to interact.
Right. Exactly. And being out there and walking your dog keeps you fit as well too. Especially for those that, are like me, that I don't really make it to the gym, but at least if I'm out walking, it doesn't feel like exercise.
Exactly.
So a dog is really, really a great thing in terms of just health benefits all the way around.
All the way around. Yep.
Yeah. So
Wonderful.
I know there's a lot of dog lovers.
Yeah. She is just out like a light now, isn't she?
Yeah.
She's
plays and she zonks. It's a it's a wild process.
Well, I think we've hit on a lot of things. There's probably things we've missed, but I'm okay with that because we're hitting on so many things and I don't want to go on forever.
But I hope that you guys got something from this in terms of, places that you may not have realized or thoughts that you haven't had in terms of having a dog and what life is like in Livingston County with a dog and things that you can do with it.
Yes. Get out there. Take your dog out to the festivals.
Yeah.
Take your dog out and sit on a patio for these restaurants that allow pets. They're allowing pets because they know they're an important member of your family and they should be able to leave the house and experience life just as much as you do. And there's these opportunities to get out there and do those things. The local beaches, the dog parks, the restaurants. Go get a pup cup.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun, and support those local vendors at the farmers markets for whatever they're selling. But I know that sometimes there's ones that are selling the dog treats, and that's dog toys. Yeah,
all of that.
Yes.
Yeah, great. Well, thank you guys for joining us today and for letting us introduce our new little addition to to you. It's exciting to have a puppy in your life. It really is. It's a lot of fun.
Yes. Well, thank you guys so much. Please check out our other episodes and come back for our next one. And welcome to Livingston.